Mr. I shepherd, I shall not want him make an eye like down in a green pasture, him lead that eye beside still water them. Him restore eye soul. Him lead that eye that a part of righteousness for him name's sake. Yeah! Though I Rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and the staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepare the table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head to no aisle. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Cha kadema way. How ma uso bolisa adanu wato e was sick player 4. Atanyu mo oh you all adong. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunam, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Again, here we are not neutral, never claim to be, because we have taken sides, deeply entrenched positions. The side of the truth, that is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. And my name, Black Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food in all its palatability for the nourishment of the family in its whole entirety. This is what we literally do here. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, subject these ideas to some forensic scrutiny, tease out the creme de la creme of all these ideas, and use that for the development of our people, our continent, our land. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo. And here we speak truth to power. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. You can also find us on Instagram, on X, formerly called Twitter, and on TikTok, where we keep ticking and talking with the great hands of patriotism. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushunamo. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you have a story you want us to follow up on. We are most excited to do that. Your humble servants. This is the domicile of the truth, the headquarters of the truth, the habitat of the truth. Oh yes, this is the address of the truth. And my name, Black Rasta. Come here. Now, my brother, my sister, today we have 4 very important issues to look at, and they are all crunching hot. I need you to be part of this caboodle. Please do me a favor. Share the broadcast. It takes only 1 second. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, do tap on the subscription button and hit on the notification bell so that each time we are on, you shall be reminded to watch us. This is the headquarters of the truth. And without much ado, if you are ready, let's get ready to rumble. Story number 1. Watch this. Revealed real reason ICE arrested Ken Ofori-Atta. It's in the news all over the place that Ken Ofori-Atta has been arrested. And he's been arrested by ICE. Many Ghanaians are hearing about ICE for the very first time. ICE simply means Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And it's a United States outfit that makes sure that immigration and customs regulations are adhered to. And they make sure that they don't play. In the days of Donald Trump, the ICE has been so ferocious. Right now in America, all you need to do to make $2,000 instantly is to call ICE, whose numbers are all over the internet. Every American knows how to find these numbers. When you call and say, I know a certain illegal immigrant here, ICE immediately comes out and moves to the location. Bam! If it is true that it is an illegal immigrant, you pick up $2,000 American. I am told. My brother, my sister. So it has become business for a lot of people in America. If you are broke, all you need to do is to identify one person in America whose visa has run out or who is living in America illegally. And then you make $2,000 with each report. So if you are able to report 5 people, all other things remaining equal, you will be able to make $10,000 American. We call that cool chop. Come here. Watch this. Now, ICE is Immigration and Customs Enforcement. In fact, these people don't play. Donald J. Trump is not a man who is so interested in immigrants, even though his parents themselves were immigrants coming all the way from Germany. His father, Francis Trump, came all the way from Germany. His wife, an immigrant, but he himself does not truly like immigrants. And now, he knows how to get immigrants out of his country, the illegal ones. Just give the average American something, and he will be able to report these illegal guys in the country. Remember, before he even became president of America, while campaigning, he talked against Mexicans, calling them rapists. Remember, in his own words, he said, when they are bringing in the Mexicans, they don't bring them the right ones. They only bring in the rapists, the murderers, the cutthroats, and then the drug addicts. My brother, my sister, he is not a man who has any patience for any immigrant. That is why these days, so many African countries are battling it out, getting visas into America. Having said this, let us talk about Ken Ofori-Atta now. Ken Ofori-Atta picked up a visa. He traveled all the way to the United States of America. And when he arrived in America, in fact, he went for treatment, as he told all of us. Ken Ofori-Atta is a man who frequents America, England, and all those countries. In the line of his duty, he traveled a lot. And when it was time for him to leave the country, he decided to take the opportunity to pick up more visas. One for Canada, one for America, one for the UK. And when he arrived in America, knowing exactly what his visa would allow and what it will not allow, time after time, he will fly into some other countries like Jamaica and some other parts of the Caribbean, and returning into America, the visa will be renewed automatically. Can I tell you more? Now, there are some visas, the B1, B2 visas. They are for tourists and what have you. When you have that visa, you may have it for 5 years, but you cannot live in America for 5 years. No. You have 6-month periods intermittently. Can I explain that better? Even if you have a 5-year American visa, once you enter America, you are eligible to stay in America for 6 months maximum. But even at the immigration, you are asked how long you're going to stay in America. Why are you coming here? Oh, I am coming here for holidays. How long would your holidays take? Or maybe 2 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks. It will all be documented. Yes, you have a 5-year visa, but the 5 years is not one full stretch. That is why it is called multiple entry. You can enter, come out, enter, come out, but you can't go sit down in America for 5 solid years because you have a 5-year American visa. My brother, my sister, Ken Ofori-Atta knew that. So when he got into America, he told them point blank at the immigration how long he was going to live in America for. He was just a visitor, a tourist. But when he got into it, we are told that he started to seek medical attention for his ailment. And when he realized that it was time for him to either return to Ghana or move out of America and attempt coming in, he did that. He flew to Jamaica and some other places, as we were told, and then came back into America. We saw photos of this man and his wife with a big backpack behind him, walking on the streets of America. People knew them, they saw them, and they took photographs of them. Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, having entered America, seeking medical attention, he told the people of Ghana when he was going to return, because they started clamoring to have him come and answer some very important questions bordering the whole nation. And these were questions about corruption and his tenure of office. Ken Ofori-Atta said he was seeking medical attention. And of course, that was not the first time he was seeking medical attention. Remember, in the days of the COVID, he fell very, very ill. And we had to fly him out exorbitantly, so expensively, to treat him. Many Ghanaians died because they had no means to fly out to even Togo, let alone America. And this man was getting commission every now and then from his activities with the data bank, as we were told by the then Mahama, who was in opposition. This is Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, when Ghana started to appeal to the United States to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta, he quickly went looking for a lawyer. And the information reaching him was that there was a certain lawyer who was a top-notch lawyer, a former attorney general, as we brought to you yesterday. And he went for him, John David Ashcroft. And Ashcroft, at a point, was actually dealing with the Attorney General of Ghana to be able to extradite Ken Ofori-Atta. But when Ken got wind of the information, he quickly went to this guy. He was ready to pay everything so that at least he would remain in America. And when the Attorney General got to hear of this, I'm talking about Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayine, he decided to bypass Ashcroft and bypass every other person and go straight to ICE. We all remember what Manasseh Awini Azure said. He told all of us Ghanaians that the mass visa will be dying out somewhere on the 14th of February 2026. 14th February is a very important day, isn't it? My brother, my sister, that will be the day the visa of Ken Ofori-Atta would be expiring. Come here. Now watch this. When the information went out, so many people were waiting to see what would happen. And thanks to the nation, to our ancestors and beyond, it came out that Ken Ofori-Atta was put on a flight risk. Oh yes. He became a flight risk. Remember, he was put on the red alert. Remember, his lawyer even came out. Lawyer Kassimi came out to tell us that Ghana knew that he was sick and seeking medical attention, yet they went ahead to put him on the red alert. This time round, Ken Ofori-Atta became a flight risk. And probably that helped so much with what is happening right now. Now, being a flight risk means that you cannot fly, especially outside America. But this is the case. You need to fly out of America and fly in so that your visa can be renewed. Do we understand? At first, when he was not a flight risk, as the OSP and other institutions had pushed, he was able to fly in and out of America, looking busy. The man who said he wasn't well, but he could fly left, right, and center, walk on the streets of America with a heavy backpack behind him. Oh my God. This time round, his flying was limited. So he stayed and stayed until his status, B1, B2, became very questionable. Come here. Now, again, if you have a 5-year American visa, you would have 6 months intermittently to move in and out. If you want to continue to be in America, once you are in America, you can travel to Cuba when it's getting to 6 months, and when you come in fresh, you have another 6 months. But if you stay until the 6 months is over, you are an illegality. Ken couldn't fly anymore because he became a flight risk, as the OSP had pushed, and of course the Attorney General. So he sat down in America, waited patiently, and he tried to get his lawyers to try and extend his visa and renew his status. Unfortunately for him, that was when the Ghanaian authorities hit hard. The Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice quickly got in contact with ICE and told ICE what was happening and gave the full information. So ICE decided to look around. And bam, Ken Ofori-Atta was arrested. When he was arrested, he was told point blank that he was an illegality in America, and he didn't deny it. The gentleman that he is, the Bible quoting Ken Ofori-Atta, told them point blank, yes, I know. But why are you still here? He said, yes, I and my lawyers are working around this so that my status can be renewed. Said, you know that is not an excuse, right? If your status expires in America, you have to leave immediately. Go back to your country and work it out so that a renewal could be done for you. Especially if you realize that it's going to be long right here. As it stands right now, you are an illegality. He said, yes, I apologize, but my lawyers are working on that. My brother, my sister, let's listen to the lawyer attentively. The Ghanaian lawyer. And when we return, we will take you back to America. And we will tell you what they are doing in America today as we speak. And this will be very interesting. Watch this.
Our counterpart lawyers in the States are working hand in hand with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement to have his petition determined.
Why is he seeking a permanent residency in the USA?
Well, I will not be drawn into that conversation. Those who have been making the claims should speak to it. So far as I'm concerned, we are dealing with a matter which is currently being interrogated. I will, for the purposes of my services to my clients, stick to that. Those who are going around fanning issues of him having applied for permanent residence should be called to speak to the matter. I don't engage myself in highfalutin, unnecessary and unsubstantiated matters. I will stick to the conversation I'm having with you, and that has to do with the petition he has put for an extension of his immigration status in America.
Okay. So what is calling for that extension?
Well, we are all conversant and aware of the notorious fact that Ofori-Atta left this jurisdiction. And this prejudicial comments that people make, I just listened to Martin Kobu that the OSP allowed him to leave the country, whatever that English means, I don't understand. Ofori-Atta left here on notice to the chief of staff. Nobody else than the chief of staff. So when people make those casual remarks, I am coming from lawyers, I find it very, very, very disappointing. Ofori-Atta left here, and then he gave notice that he was going for a medical procedure. That one has been done, and if we all know what he is suffering from, it is not easy. After that, you have to go through a period of recuperation. And that is exactly what he is doing. So he is in consultation, constant consultation with his medical team. And if they have advised that the state at which they are, it is imperative for him to continue to remain in the state so that they can attend to him. What is exactly wrong with that? What is exactly wrong with that? Why? Because he is a person of suspect or a supposed accused person, his fundamental human rights and liberties are curtailed? Is that what we want to be told as Ghanaians? That as a Ghanaian, he can't seek medical treatment outside this country? Of course, Ofori-Atta's visa period lapses next month on the 14th of February, as you are aware. Today is the 7th of January. If for one reason or the other he thinks, based upon consultation with his doctors, that he has to remain in the States for a further period for him to be attended to, it is imperative that he activates the processes that will guarantee him the stay in America. And that is exactly what he has done. And this is a routine, customary, common, normal practice in every jurisdiction of this world. It's not only in America. If you visit the country and when you are supposed to leave, something occasions and you are not able to leave, you apply to continue to remain there. What is so strange about this? So yes, he has applied for his stay to be extended. And the petition is with the ICE. They will determine it, and in the fullness of time, we will all know whether he has merit in his petition or not. So people should not be casting all kinds of aspersions and veiled innuendos and insinuations as if he is doing something so extraordinary. Come on, please. Let us stick to the matters and discuss them as they are. Ofori-Atta has rights. He has fundamental rights as a Ghanaian and as a human being. And those rights should be respected and protected.
When was he supposed to have left the U.S.?
I just told you that his visa expires on or before the 14th of February.
The reason I ask this question is because we are not in February yet. So why is he in the ICI detention if his visa is yet to expire?
Well, it is a normal procedure they adopt. If you put in the petition, before they determine the petition, they would put you in a facility, awaiting the determination.
Really?
That discretionary decision is on mine.
Wow, because the education some people have been giving is that if I'm applying for extension of my visa, why put me in a detention center as though I overstayed?
And I'm saying that determination and discretion does not lie with me. It lies with the ICE. And I can't, for any reason, interrogate that determination or decision that they have made. Our counterpart lawyers will deal with that matter, and they are dealing with it.
But during the COVID era, when he was the finance minister, he wasn't well as well. But he was able to seek medical attention outside, but still returned to continue his work. How are the two situations different?
The circumstances of that ailment is different. I believe we all knew that he went in the first instance on COVID-related matters. It's in the public domain. And this time around, he suffered a procedure which he suffered an ailment which required a procedure which he has gone through. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which you also know. So the circumstances are different. So don't let us link the two. Maybe it was permissible for him to come after the COVID treatment, but this time round he has to stay for a further period. Is it a crime?
It's not a crime, but people say there are other people who have same conditions but do travel in and out. Why is his case different that even in recuperating he cannot come a day or two or a week to avail himself to the authorities and go back?
Kojo, the name is Kojo.
Yes, please, sir. Yes.
Kojo,
boss.
You can suffer malaria, typhoid, whatever, jaundice, whatever. Two of you can be suffering at the same time. One person will be discharged from hospital. You will still remain there. Is that not normal?
Within the
is that not normal? When people just speak out of context, that why did Ken Ofori-Atta not make himself available through permissible legal means for him to be interrogated and a statement obtained from him? Did he not? Was it not the OSP who was so fastidious and fixated that he wants to see him in this jurisdiction by all means? So the man said, I am prepared to avail myself. Let us have a video conferencing and do whatever you want to do with me on video. Why? Would that not be the same kind of Ofori-Atta speaking? Even in our law courts, there are procedures for that. We do video conferencing. Evidence is taken for witnesses who are outside this country. Why in this age of technology? You see, you people don't interrogate those matters. All you are interested in are these questions. You don't interrogate these matters.
Well, we do, but
no, with the Legal and Mutual Assistance Act, you can do these things. And the extradition, the Electronic Transition Act is also there. It makes provision for all of this. So if the OSP was not prepared to take liberty of those legally permissible means, and the man is out of the country, should we willingly, by all means, come to this country when his doctors are telling him otherwise? Is that what you want to suggest?
Okay. So as we speak, we do not know when the former finance minister will avail himself in the jurisdiction.
Oh, I can't tell you that, Kojo. I can't. I am not in a position to do that. I am not a speculative lawyer. Neither am I a clever. So I'll wait for the process to be determined. And then when in the fullness of time they make a decision, the Ghanaians will
know. Oh my God. It's not easy to be a lawyer, my brother. He said that the OSP is frustrated and fastidious. He said Ghanaians are full of veiled innuendos. He's a fluent speaking lawyer. But you go explain tire if you no get evidence. How on earth will a man whose visa is supposed to expire on the 14th of February apply that he wants an extension, and all of a sudden they go after him in handcuffs? My brother, they didn't invite him in a limousine. They went to his house, woke him up from bed, handcuffed him, and carried him out after taking mark shots in there and out there. Are we senseless people? How would the lawyer want us to understand and believe that Ken Ofori-Atta, whose visa is supposed to expire on the 14th, we are still in January, we haven't even reached February yet, the 14th of February, and he applies for an extension of his visa. And all of a sudden, he is handcuffed and taken into custody. And he says it's normal in the American immigration system. Which of the Americas? South, North, East, or maybe West America? My brother, this is disgusting. It looks like they are forcing us to understand some things that do not exist. Well, put that aside. Is he extending his visa or he is renewing his status? There are two different things. Right now, if the man is arrested and his visa hasn't expired yet, then it must be an issue of status. How many days are you supposed to be here? You came here for this purpose. You were released by your doctor, or for whatever reason you came. And therefore, you should have been out of the country. But you are still here. What is the problem? That's all ICE is asking. When you arrived at the immigration, this was what you said. You were going for treatment. And documents that we are confronted with are telling us that the treatment period elapsed at this time. Why are you still here? Oh, my lawyers are working to extend it and also to deal with my status. Do you agree that as you stand right now, you are an illegality? Yes, I do, but with an explanation. Lawyer is trying as much as possible to get angry with Ghanaians. But my brother, my sister, it is what it is. First and foremost, Ofori-Atta has broken immigration protocols in America. And for most Ghanaians, this is good news. They can't wait to see Ofori-Atta bundled and brought home. And I hear the lawyer say, oh, he could be interviewed and interrogated online in these days of technology. My brother, whoever interrogates a thief over the fence, we are not stupid. Who interrogates a thief over the fence? This is common sense. You don't need to be a lawyer. Who interrogates a thief over the fence? There's a thief who has carried your things and he has jumped the fence to the other side. And then you stand over the fence and you are asking, do you know we are here now? Who found here? Now, why do you know we are here? Do you do that? You grab the thief, sit him down on his backside and ask him. Because then you have custody of him. Why would the police decide to put people in custody before interrogating them? Why is Ofori-Atta in handcuffs and is in custody if what the lawyer is saying is true while they are looking at his papers? They want to hold him first. We are not idiots. Why do these lawyers want us to feel like we are idiots? Ofori-Atta should sit in America. Should sit in America. And we will interrogate him from here over the internet. So that when he realizes that he is unable to convince any of us, well, he's a bird already up in the tree. However you would get him up there is your business. But if you have the bird in your cage, you have full control. My brother, his lawyers are there, led by John David Ashcroft and all the other alleged 13 lawyers. My brother, let's even say it's one lawyer in America. The amount of money that is being spent. Why don't you just come home? Is Ghana that terrible to the point that a gun is going to be put to the head of Ofori-Atta right from the airport all the way to Gonda Barracks? He will be tortured and all that. And Nana Addo is still working here. If there's anybody who should be slaughtered in Ghana, if anybody at all should be slaughtered in Ghana, and I'm using this figuratively, it should be Nana Addo. for all the atrocities he meted to us in Ghana. If anybody should be roasted at all, Baumia. But these guys are still working here. Why is Ken running away? If he's not running away, come here. Again, can I say something? He's saying that he has cancer. One man had COVID. A few months later, he's diagnosed with cancer. Well, we pray for speedy recovery for him. And his cancer is so severe that he cannot sit in a plane, but he can walk on the streets of America and eat pizza and have fun. Oh, what a man. What do you take us for? What do you take us for? And he spoke with Joy FM. And Kojo was pushing the right questions right in front of him. Now he says, well, he is sick. And he's the one who says he's sick. The American people cannot be manipulated like that. My prayer is that Ken Ofori-Atta never dies. Let him be healthy, stay fit, and come and face the karma that he left behind. That is what it is. In this edition, we have told you something very important. Come here! 1. He traveled on a B1, B2 visa. Did he travel on a medical visa? What is the category? Now, with this kind of visa, B1, B2, you are given a period of 6 months that you can live in America maximum for a time, even if you have 5 years. But even the 6 months, you have to be able to convince American immigration that you'll be able to take care of yourself within the 6 months. There is the necessity to stay all 6 months and much more. The fact that you have a visa doesn't mean that you can just enter any country like that. No. You are even told at the time that you have the visa that you could be denied entry depending on what you carry on you and what you don't carry on you. Ken arrives. He is asked by the immigration, what are you here for? Oh, health reasons. Are you not even ashamed? What are the doctors in Ghana doing? Mahama falls sick. He goes to the hospitals right here in Ghana. Kufuor fell ill. He went for a major operation right here in Ghana. But when Nana Addo, Bawumia, Ken Ofori-Atta, they fall ill, they are more human than all human beings in Ghana. They fly outside Ghana and they want us to sit back and say, get well soon. Are we idiots? We pray for thunder, lightning, and fire on your head so you will suffer more. DDEP, Ghanaians are dying. Pensioners are dying because of these terrible policies that befell us, because of your carelessness. IMF is here to treat us like slaves and morons. You have money to fly out of the nation. You go and sit in America. Even when your visa is expiring, you are hiring top-class lawyers like John David Ashcroft, a former Attorney General, to represent you. The amount you are paying this guy could have built 10 hospitals in Ghana. True or false? Well, it's a matter of the status. As for the visa, it has not expired. So there's nothing like extension. If there's any extension, then it is because they envisage that he will stay there longer. But for now, the problem is with the status. What did you tell American immigration? That you are coming here for 2 weeks. It's already 10 months. It's already 7 months. It's already 6 months. You are here. What is happening? Oh, my doctors say A, B, C, D. But we have documents that your doctors said they have passed you out. You are supposed to go back to your country and recuperate. Go back to your country and recuperate. When a patient goes to a hospital in Ghana and they are treated, they might not fully recover. They are asked to go home and recuperate. They give them whatever medicine they are supposed to take. That means the storm is over. Now, just take care of yourself and get back in shape and form. That's what it is. Nobody stays in a hospital for 70 years so that they can grow yet another pot belly. No, sir. You grow that pot belly when you go back home. So don't take us for idiot. Don't take us for idiot. Your status is bad. And the eyes people have come for you. Your lawyers can talk from now till the end of time. As long as the evidence is wavy. My brother, you go talk tire. And there was another aspect the lawyer talked about, which I would like us to look at. He said what? Something. He said that, well, Ken Ofori-Atta, they asked him, he was asked by Kojo, oh, he wants a permanent residence. I will not answer that. Me, I'm not here to answer that. Let those who are saying so, say so. What we want now is a review of his status and an extension. No, we are not going to answer permanent. Why don't you answer? Why don't you answer? He wants to live in America forever and ever. He doesn't want to see the gates of Africa anymore. Yet, he is one of the authors of the current situation in Ghana. You mess up the country. Take whatever you can take. Fly out to build a heaven for you on the other side. No, it won't happen. Our prayer is that they return and they will be dealt with nicely. And to ICE, I thank you so much. I hear these guys in America, they watch this show like something. For all you know, this is going to be watched right there at the ICE facility where he is kept. They will play it on the TV there for everybody to see. You guys there watching this at ICE, we are waiting for that guy to be brought here to Ghana. The president has promised, the attorney general has promised, the whole world would keep the eyes on Ghana. He will not be treated badly. He would just be asked questions and interrogated, like they did to him in Parliament a few months back. Bring him home. Africa has suffered too much because of people like him. If you believe in democracy, please send him home. And I know Trump will see this. Trump is tired of all those immigrants. He claims they're spoiling America. Bring them home. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo. And here, we speak truth to power. Story number 2. Watch this. OSP is a failure. IMF POOH-POOHS KISSI AGYABENG. Hey, I saw this and it shocked me. And I decided to place a few calls around the IMF and a few other such people to get into the real information. But what does it mean to say poo-poo? According to the dictionary, what is poo-poo? Dismiss an idea or suggestion as being foolish or impractical. That is the meaning of the word poo-poo. And an example, until recently, this idea was poo-pooed by the scientific community. Dash it away. IMF POOH-POOHS KISSI AGYABENG's OSP. Hey! Now the IMF says that the OSP is a failure. That the OSP is not able to determine court dates for whoever they want to put on trial. This is a big indictment. Run it, my youth. Watch the story as published by My Joy Online. And it is nerve-wracking, brain-shattering, bone-crushing, marrow-rattling. OSP has no clear and consistent systems to decide when cases are ready for court. And this is from 2025. IMF report. Run it, my youth. My God. Now the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has delivered a pointed critique of Ghana's office of the special prosecutor, indicating that the institution risks continued failure in confronting major corruption cases due to fundamental structural weaknesses. Chief amongst these weaknesses is the lack of a clear, consistent, and enforceable charging policy. Oh my God. Now the IMF's Ghana Governance Diagnostic Assessment released this month reveals that while the OSP has been legally empowered since its establishment under the 2017 Act, it does not possess the internal systems required to determine when a case is strong enough to proceed to court. It means it's trial and error. Frefrekobo. According to the report analyzed by Joy News's research, this gap lies at the heart of the OSP struggle to secure convictions in high-profile corruption cases. Now, the IMF notes with concern that there is currently no clear and consistent policy in place at the OSP which determines when a case meets the legal and evidential burdens for proceeding to charge and assessing whether it is likely to result in a conviction. My brother, so you start investigating a case. You don't even know how strong the case is, whether it should go before the court or not, because the internal structure there is weak. Very weak, according to the IMF. Now, the absence of such a policy, it argues, creates serious inconsistencies in decision making. It states that prosecutors lack a uniform benchmark for assessing evidence, determining whether a case is ready for court, or evaluating its likelihood of success. So they rush to court blindly, trying to see whether it will work or not. No wonder the Attorney General talked about this in some quarters, I am told. My brother, my sister, this could mean cases may be rushed to court without being fully prepared, abandoned mid-process, or inconsistently pursued depending on who handles them. According to the IMF, the consequences of this policy vacuum weaken public trust in the institution's choices and contribute to uncertainty about its prosecutorial strategy. Now, the weakness is directly linked to the OSP's inability to secure major corruption convictions. The report states that successful high-level prosecutions are not common, and unless action is taken, this could remain the case for a long time. Dash it out. This is a report from the IMF. And if this report is anything to go by, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is throwing blind blows in the dark. When the public starts talking about something, they jump onto it. They try to look at it, the merits, but the internal structure is weak. That means we are paying money, voting money into the OSP for nothing. According to the IMF, that is why it is very difficult for the IMF to prosecute and to even win high-profile cases. This is crazy, isn't it? I saw this report and I cringed. So what are these internal structures that are supposed to be in there to make sure that we are able to prosecute and win properly. Is it human resource? What else? It is human resource. The people in there, what is their qualification? How did they get in there? Who put them in there? My brother, everybody at the OSP was brought in there by one man. KISSI AGYABENG. Once he's voted as the special prosecutor, chosen by the state, he decides who forms his team. The OSP is independent. Therefore, if KISSI says he wants a vulture as his assistant and he wants a parrot as his PRO, at the same time, he needs bats, apine, to be what? Singing praises around his head to make him feel giddy and lightheaded so that he can relax in his fool's paradise. Who are you to say no? The OSP is a one-man show. One man decides who is the secretary. One man decides who does this. One man decides who does this, who does that, and who does those. So if that one man is incompetent, he will be surrounded by incompetence. That is what the IMF is saying. Internal structures are weak and they are throwing blind blows in the dark. They don't seem to be able to know the merits of a good case. Whether to proceed to court or to stay back, they work according to whims and caprices. Knee-jerk reactions. Oh, the public expects us to prosecute Kwatin Mensah. Hey, Kwatin Mensah, come here. And Kwatin Mensah comes to sit down there. Yes? Okay, you did ABCD. Is it true? Okay, go. We'll call you back 2 years later. So IMF says that they start a case and then they let it hang because they don't really have any evidence. They are knee-jerk reactions. And there's no clear-cut road to which cases should be prosecuted and which ones shouldn't. My brother, my sister, if this is what it is, then we are in trouble. Is it true that it's a one-man show? It's an independent outfit, right? So whoever is in the office of the special prosecutor must be, in one way or the other, a crony of KISSI AGYABENG. Whoever is in there, from the watchman, the cleaner, the messenger, all the way down to whoever or up to whoever, you must promise to align to his whims and caprices, or else you disalign and unalign. No checks and balances. Do we have that? Don't we have that? Should we have that? Shouldn't we have that? Do they have auditors who audit their accounts? Do they have some level-headed supervisors who can also suggest a few things and like supervise in one way or the other? Or the fact that it is independent means that it is independent in total? Is that it? Then, if you have a sheep, SHEEP, as the special prosecutor, he will be surrounded by lambs. And you know, proverbially, lambs are very humble. So whatever he says, they'll go, meh, meh, meh. May God save Ghana. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here, we speak truth to power. When we return, we got more. Hey ya! Wayo! Wayo!
Blackpot, Kokusho,
It's the Blackpot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Now, if you have not as yet subscribed to this channel, do me the honest. Hit on the subscription button. Right after that, you hit on the notification bell so that each time we are on, you will be reminded to watch. Okay? Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Maybe you want us to follow up on a certain story for you. We are most excited to do that. This is the Blackpot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. Please share the broadcast. Story number 3. Watch this. I did not say GOLDBOD made losses. OPPONG-NKRUMAH backtracks on allegations. Now, Kojo Ofori-Atta is a brilliant dude. I like him. We work together at Joy FM, well, multimedia, and, well, on the internet, on YouTube, you will see videos of me and him in the studio. I'm just having fun. Very likable character. My brother, my sister, my politics changes everything. Now, this is Kojo Ofori-Atta. He was a minister of information, having grown from the deputy. This is Kojo Ofori-Atta. Well, they had a press conference. The minority in parliament pushed him on, and he came out and talked to us about the GOLDBOD. He talked to us about some 214 million American dollar losses incurred between GOLDBOD and the Bank of Ghana. But it looks like Kojo Ofori-Atta is backtracking because they are hit with heavy evidence. First and foremost, let's go to that presser. Listen to what Kojo Ofori-Atta said. And when we return, we shall confront the facts. Watch this.
What is even more worrying is that in the face of this devastation, what we are seeing are statements being issued from the GOLDBOD and the Bank of Ghana trying to obfuscate. They rely on some words in the original IMF draft to suggest that this is speculative or that this is a significant downside risk. We must be clear. A loss of $214 million has already been made. It will be about $300 million at the end of the year. And the people of Ghana cannot be taken for fools by some long-winded statements seeking to parry this tragedy away. Colleagues, the truth about this government is that they have not introduced any superior economic ideas to governance. All that they've been doing is rebranding, renaming old things that have been done, and sometimes even hiding the details until we, in the minority, call it out for the Ghanaian public to see. Now, today, they are relying on this rebranding, but rebranding without the requisite competence and the requisite attention to the structural issues will be disastrous in the end. And so we ask, so when the IMF is no longer here by the middle of 2026, and they have finished rebranding the ideas that they inherited, which new ideas will they be introducing? Which old ideas will they now be left with to copy? And who will be shepherding them? The previous administration in January 2025 handed over to them an economy that was far larger, far stronger, far less burdened by debt servicing than what they handed to us in January 2027. Their singular instinct has been to capitalize on the architecture that was innovated by the NPP. Gold for reserves, gold for oil, gold for forex are examples. And now, even that one, they are running into massive losses that you, the taxpayer, will have to pay at the end of the day. What have they contributed? Nothing. Just rebranding. They simply took the PMMC and the work that MIF was doing and decided to restructure it under the Gold Board and quickly pass a bill to grant it sweeping powers over all small-scale gold, plus 20% of all other produced gold by large-scale miners. Sadly, without the technical competence required to operate this complex structure that they wanted to do, we are saddled with $214 million debt, now moving towards 300. And it doesn't matter whether they tell you it's not Gold Board loss, it's Bank of Ghana loss, or it's Bank of Ghana loss, it's not Gold Board. At the end of the day, the Ghanaian taxpayer is the one who has to pay. And so as a minority, on behalf of the people of Ghana, we are demanding the following: a bipartisan parliamentary inquiry into the circumstances under which the Republic of Ghana has lost $214 million, heading to $300 million, to be done here by the Parliament of Ghana on a bipartisan basis, as I mentioned. And we're asking for a parliamentary ad hoc investigative committee with power to subpoena all contracts, licenses, intermediaries, including this Bower Rock monopoly that this morning we have informed you about. Under this bipartisan inquiry, we will be expecting the Bank of Ghana and the Gold Board to publish the fee structure, the pricing formula, the aggregator selecting criteria, and all foreign exchange arrangements that they have tied to this scheme, which has led to this loss. There are also environmental issues that have to be dealt with. And one of the things we'll be asking for is a suspension of permits in forest reserves and the introduction of serious measures on traceability. Because as at now, we have every reason to believe that state money is being used to buy Galamsey gold. Also, we are expecting the governor of the central bank and the chief executive of the Gold Board to appear before the committee as other persons who will be invited and to provide all the information that is required for the Republic to understand in detail what has happened and to put measures in place to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And where negligence or corruption is proven, prosecutions must follow, and all recoverable funds must be clawed back to the state. This crisis, colleagues, is not about politics. It's about whether Ghana still stands as a guardian of the resources that we have been given, and we have the ability to use it for generations unborn, or whether temporary gains will lead us to irresponsible behavior that leads us into debt and at the same time destruction of our environment. To the people of Ghana, it is in your name and on your behalf that we are doing this. to our chiefs, faith leaders, market women, students, unions, civil societies, academia, and the diaspora, your voices are the only force left to defend this democracy, to defend this republic, to defend this country. Fellow Ghanaians, gold may glitter, but the truth has to endure beyond today. May history record that when our gold was taken and our rivers were poisoned and our future was mortgaged, we all stood up in a bipartisan way to find out the causes, to put in place the plugs, and to hold accountable the persons who have made this happen. This is not a moment for spectators. It's a moment for all of us as citizens to rise and be part of the solution.
In modern times, OPPONG-NKRUMAH is one of the reasons I don't like politicians. In one stretch, they are talking virtues. In the next stretch, they throw away all the virtues and clutch on to vices. Why can't they be honest, these politicians? The more I listen to them, I don't see any genuineness in them. No patriotism. It's all about what we can get. How many of you felt the same way? OPPONG-NKRUMAH said in this speech, eloquently, that our future as Ghanaians is being mortgaged. And therefore, we must stand on our 2 feet as non-spectators. Remember, that phrase borrowed from the Americans. Remember the speech that Nanado plagiarized. We must all be involved. But Rawlings has said that several years back. Don't just stand and stare. Be involved. Remember when he addressed the cadres? My brother, my sister, our future is being mortgaged as Ghanaians. Were these not the same people preaching Ejapa? Do you know what Ejapa was supposed to do? Mortgage the future of not only Ghanaians living, but unborn Ghanaians in generations yet to come. They didn't see anything wrong with that. My brother, he's talking about water bodies getting polluted. I personally hate it, and I've been fighting it from time immemorial, my brother. But they all sat down there, benefited from the goriness and the ghastly nature of the destruction of our rivers, flora and fauna, when Wuntumi and his cohorts told us blatantly that party Hinyaska. Today, OPPONG-NKRUMAH comes with his Shakespearean English. Our future is being mortgaged, and you know, gold may glitter, but let posterity, blah, 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 blah. And I sit back and I'm intrigued. I'm like, what is this guy saying? These guys are only thinking about their stomachs and pockets. They are not patriotic Ghanaians. When I see a genuine patriotic Ghanaian, I see one. Not these ones. Nanado sat down there and pretended to be fighting Galamsey. How did it go? Wuntumi became an emperor in Ashanti when he told us, like Don Quixote, that he had his own empire. So quixotically. Today I hear OPPONG-NKRUMAH. In the days of Galamsey, did he cough? But that is not to equalize anything. Now let's go into the proper context of the whole thing. He said, it doesn't matter whether it is GOLDBOD that has made the losses or it is the Bank of Ghana that has made the losses. The burden will still have to be carried by Ghanaians. Hey, when the devil starts to preach the Bible, it is very, very exotic. It glitters, though it's not gold. This is a demonic party. In the tenure of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Galamsey rose to the acme. You took us to the IMF and the World Bank after saddling us with a demonic e-levy. You flew members of your party, chartered flights. They ate exorbitantly, like gluttons. They came into the country. You didn't care about Ghana. Today, these are the same demons who are preaching to us about our economy, our culture, our people, our futures being mortgaged. How can I trust them? You see why I can't do politics? You see why I cannot do politics? These are the people who are with you. They are okay with you. You complain about the same old things. The moment they start to taste power, no sir. It's a blessing. Plutocracy, kleptocracy. They create thiefdoms. It's sad. He said it doesn't matter whether it is GOLDBOD that is making the losses or Bank of Ghana. The most important thing is that Ghanaians will bear the losses. But the point is that, is it a price paid for a certain product or it is a loss? If you go to buy a shirt and you give out money and take the shirt, would you say you've lost money? Depending on the value of the shirt that you buy, you could say you lost money. If you bring the shirt home and it has holes in there, and the amount you paid to get this shirt could have bought you a suit, then you would say that is a loss. My brother, 214 million. Now they tell us by the end of the year it's going to be 300 million according to the presses, right? And that's what they're saying. Is it a loss or is a price we paid for a buoyant economy? An economy that Nana Addo couldn't give us. And all these guys who are today pretending to be patriotic. The 8 years of suffocation, 8 years of disaster, 8 years of Guantanamo. Yes, Guantanamo Bay. 8 years of axiviation. Hallelujah. Today when I see the devil preach the Bible, like the devil tried to preach the Bible to Jesus Christ, what did Jesus Christ say? Behind me, Satan. Well, OPPONG-NKRUMAH was on UTV. Am I correct? And then he had an interview and he spoke in Twi. It was interesting. Of course, he speaks Twi. Ofori-Atta. That's the area. I hope I pronounced it well. And we were told that in his own constituency, they even do galamsey. In his own constituency, when he is the MP and they were in power, galamsey was rife. Today, he's worn the cloak of patriotism. Well, better late than never. But let's look at the merits of these things. Okay. He spoke. And then an MP called in. I think his name is Eric Opoku. Eric Opoku called into the show. And he had a little discussion with OPPONG-NKRUMAH. It's less than a minute. Watch this.
Costs. Abba. Now, anyone the any day, then you greater public good.
And the same argument here, but Kojo can't say many ages. What can say many ages? What's it? Momo press conference, no?
Yeah.
One kind of baby affair. Some just in the GOLDBOD now, boka.
In fact, I'll part to me share video ni na. Me na me address a press conference.
But just what's it one can't say me boy.
Issues 4 ni raise here. My list issues ni na.
No, me just say, but you say, man kind of baby affair. GOLDBOD and Aboka.
Me say your press issue be say ya boka 214 million to 300 million based on the interaction between Bank of Ghana and the GOLDBOD. And I cry the company and no be anti ni dida. I friend Bar Rock ebe count.
Like I say, Not just
It is a Moncasa set to a question normally. No, you saw the
conference. I'm out for a come. I agree with you. Any problem?
Yeah, you press conference. No, my sense is studio. I say you.
I say, Yabati Brenna, Yababa, Kopoku, where do you say
overseas? And this one is a totally different program.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So Eric Opoku called in and was trying to find out if the MP said that GOLDBOD made losses. And he said he didn't say it anywhere. He only said the interaction between GOLDBOD and Bank of Ghana made a loss. Of course, he's right when he says that if there's a loss, it doesn't matter whether it's A or B that made it. The most important thing is that Ghana would have to service that debt. But many people have said that these people made losses at the Bank of Ghana far higher than the 214 million. 3 times that, 4 times that. They never coughed. They said it was trading. Why is it that all of a sudden the loss, relatively lesser loss, is raising eyebrows? A loss is a loss. It's important to look at it. But again, the big question is it a price we have paid for a certain service we have had, which is the buoyancy of the economy? Or is a loss? Which one is it? Now, OPPONG-NKRUMAH in his presser said something that caught my attention, and I'm going to close with that. He kept repeating that the government in power didn't bring any new policy. It just picked up from the NPP, his NPP, rebranded them, and it's not even handling them well. That is why we are making losses. In fact, if in the days of the NPP, they made this loss and the economy was sweet like this, I'm sure we would have voted them for another 200 years. True or false? But these guys sat on the money in their chiefdoms and kleptodoms, squandered the money, and treated all of us like slaves. And then went to the IMF and the World Bank and saddled us with debts. At that time, it was not a debt. It was just money to do campaign and try to get Ghanaians to bring them back so they will take us for fool again. My brother, PMMC has become GOLDBOD. He calls it restructuring. Better still, rebranding. Now, the sad part of OPPONG-NKRUMAH's thing, and I'll close with this. He's trying to tell us that the IMF is responsible for all these changes that are happening. And by 2026 this year, when the IMF is finally gone, what will the new government of the NDC hold on to? Oh, what a slavish mentality. The IMF sent people all the way to come and sit in our offices here and direct us like zombies. To go left, go right, zombie or zombie. Like that. Because we had gone for $3 billion American dollars. OPPONG-NKRUMAH says in his presser, and listen to it again. By 2026, when the IMF is gone, what ideas will the NDC rely on? Oh my God. So the IMF is responsible for all the glory we are seeing around our economy, right? Why wasn't the IMF able to make it happen during your tenure? So these are the people who see white people, white institutions as superior. The black man is never able to achieve anything until a white hand dips into the food. That's my understanding of what he's saying. Did you hear that part? He said by 2026, when the IMF is gone, what new ideas will the NDC rely on? We went and brought Baumia all the way, Adam Smith, to come and help us with our economy. Today, his people are campaigning against the fact that that was why he was brought in. Because they have nothing good to write home about the economy in their 8 years of being there. Their chief economist is in America looking for permanency of stay. He's running after American doctors. Our Ghanaian doctors are worthless in his dictionary. If this was in the days of Rawlings, all these guys would be tied to some stake on that road. Teshi road there. The rest will be history. It's good we are no more in those days. But may true patriotic Ghanaians continue to stand for their country. The big English will not scare us. We shall decode all the big English. No white man is responsible for our growth. We are the product of our own selves, as Kwame Nkrumah told us. That's why we asked them on the 6th of March, 1957, to excuse us. And we relegated them to the back burner. Today, when I see a man with a slavish mentality, a colonial-minded, house nigger, telling me that the IMF will go in 2026 and we shall see where your new ideas are going to come from. Jesus. When we know the IMF and the World Bank have actually been responsible for a lot of our wars. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's the Blakk Pots, aka Kukushonemo. And here, we speak truth to power. When we return, we close the show. Hey ya! Hey yo! Wayo! It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Hit on the subscription button if you have not subscribed to the channel yet. This is the voice of the people, the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. Please share the broadcast. We love you, we appreciate you, and we never take you for granted. Please send your comments in. Let them come via Facebook. They could also come via YouTube, and we shall pick them up one after the other, and look at them in the first tranche. In a few minutes, it will all be over. In the interim, share the broadcast, subscribe to the channel. Okay, Tahir Faisal says, Black Empire Media, Black Rasta is a radical a move of fire. Isa Yesu says, hello, Black Rasta, keep up your good work. Work for Ghana. We love you so much. Godfred, King Fred Tekwe says, please, the sound, the live stream is not coming. Live stream? Are you sure? All right, we'll check it out. It's supposed to be coming. Okay? Live stream? Are you sure? All right. MCR, is that true? Okay. So please check your settings and see. Maybe it's coming from you. All right? But, I mean, as we are going on, we'll see if other people are having the same problem. But we are sorry about that you're going through issues. Okay? So more comments coming in. Remember, our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. You could also, oh gosh, tell us a story you want us to follow up on, and we are happy to do that. Franklin Safo says, good evening, boss. Can you please investigate what is going on at the Jamestown Fishing Harbor? It seems after all the money that was spent on that project has been abandoned. And on the Ofori-Atta issue, please permit me to be a little controversial. I have a strange feeling that if he arrives in Ghana, he might be murdered. I don't think so. Ghanaians are not like that. We don't murder people like that. No. Not by his administration, but by some big NPP gurus whose names he might mention in court. The authorities must leave no stone unturned in terms of safety if he returns. May Jah guide us all. Well, safety would always be good, safe passage, so that at least he's alive to be able to tell us. Okay, so Godfred, King Fred Tukpe says that, oh, the sound is working now. Okay, I'm sure it was one of your things. Okay, thank you so much for getting back to us. Sean Street Storm says, have a lovely weekend. Our country or nothing, not to pay. Urien. More comments coming in. Facebook, YouTube. We are ready to pick them up. And Yakubu Osman says, good evening, Black Rasta. Now, no good. Now, we'll take a table. May God protect us against unnecessary troubles. Okay? Akanayo Zurai says, hi, Black. Bless up. Watching you live from Torino, Italy. I am so much in love with the Attorney General, the Zuarungu boy. Thank you. Tuba Rasta says, good evening, Black. I salute you, man. Patawo says, hello, Black Rasta. Michael Evans says, respect. Veronica Zotoglo says, I like Black Rasta News. And Black Rasta News loves Veronica Zotoglo. More comments coming in. Okay. We have Isa Yesu says, good evening, sir. Black Rasta, keep your good work. Yes, the good work we are doing for your country, Mother Ghana. Black Rasta, we appreciate your good work. Thank you. Fuos Ovi Omoto says, greetings from our tents, Black Port, move of fire. Respect to you, sir. Philip Kojo Jan Buedu says, he's laughing out loud. He doesn't like illegal immigrants. Correction. Yeah, that's it. That's what we said, right? Illegal immigrants. Ose Prempeh II says, Black Rasta, you told us yesterday that the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice got fugitive Ken Ofori-Atta arrested. And I told you the Attorney General knows nothing about the arrest. You are giving us a different story again. No. Ose Prempeh, which different story? It's the same story. It's just the same thing we said. Or your ears heard a different story. Attorney General got in contact with ICE. That's the same thing we said yesterday. No, sir. We're authentic, bro. And you know that. Yes, got in contact with the ICE. And the ICE got into action. And they gave all the details and bam, Ken was picked up. You get it? It's the same story we told you. Or did anybody hear anything different? No, sir. All right. Anyway, thanks so much for the comment. All right. More comments coming in. Facebook, YouTube. Make sure that they flow. Mark Romeo Ofori says, well, go on, Professor Blakk. Tete Efson says, Black Empire Media, the maker of truth. Patawo says, you are right, Black Rasta. Osepren Pedeseke said, the AG is sleeping on the job. No difference between him and Dump Dummy. He can't even jail a fly from the S1 administration. We shall see. I like that. Okay? Tete Efron says, Blakk, may the spirits of our ancestors continue to protect you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and we love you. Okay? More comments coming in. Fly them via YouTube. Let them also come via Facebook. Tete Efron says, Blakk, may the spirits of our ancestors continue to protect you. Conscious Agbe Menu Ahosu says, greetings, greetings. Blessed up my guru. Amu of fire. Idi Chine says, Kokoshonemo. Famous Semak says, watching the Blackport live. Thank you. Play Boys Adams is watching you live from Tamale. Abdul Rauf Osman says, keep the fire blazing. Valentine Zimowura says, I love you, Black Rasta. And you know I love you. Respect my brother. Zimowura. Love you to the max. We love you. Okay? And keep doing the good job as well. Okay? More comments. And we have Abu Bakar Ahmed. Abubakar Ahmed. Amu on fire. Muhammad Awal Usman says, I am here again tonight for a revelation from the great Black Rasta. Blackport, keep the fire live from Germany. And then C.E. Cott says, crime scene. And Alfredo says, royal salute to you, my good brother, watching live from NKC. That's Nadoli Kalio constituency, the Upper West region. Ben Champion says, I'm more fire. Kamshina Zaid said, Black Rasta, more fire. Okay? More comments coming in. And make sure you represent on Facebook and also on YouTube. Stephen Joe says, smoke head lawyer. Okay, which one of them? Cecile Malouf says, this guy lawyer should give us a break. Criminal is a criminal. Kojo Mambo says, foolish lawyer. Which one? Which of the lawyers? But me, I'm not a lawyer. You know that. Maybe one day I'll be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer one day so I can jail some of these people quickly. Okay? Stephen Joe says, period. Isaac Lord Duku says, please, Blakk, tell the lawyer that they are all period. Okay? Yati. More comments coming in. Okay? And I love the comments. Let them flow. Cecile Malouf says, what's he afraid of coming to Ghana for? Ray Davuchi. Zankanali. I like that. Ray Davuchi Zankanali said they are all dirty thieves. Jose Agbema Biase says, is that true? Frank Davis, why? Mustafa Fatai says, if he has the right, then he should come to Ghana. If he's right, yes, he should come to Ghana. Oguyemi Prince says, Black Rasta, good evening, more fire. Young Fame Dingoro says, lawyer with empty head. Oguyemi Prince says, watching you live from Abusokai, move of fire. Okay? More comments. We have Kofi Ahmed Demenya. And he says, it is time. All patrons must report to class. Professor Blakk is in class. And he says, we stand by the truth always. Ghana will rise again. Raskaba says, Assalamu alaikum, my big brother Black Rasta himself. More respect to you. And may Allah continue to protect and guide you. Inshallah. Junior Developer says, truth be told. Rap Thunder says, welcome, legendary Blakk. Today is the last class of the week. May the Almighty Allah bless you, legendary. And Raskaba says, it's a beautiful Friday. And it is a Blackport with Black Rasta himself. Move of fire. Kofi Diabolical. Yes. Kofi Diabolical says, come here. Okay. More comments. Yeah. And we have Alinko. He says, greetings. Rap Thunder says, Allah has told you that I want to be like you one day, or my children, and you gave me a strong and beautiful idea to achieve that. That's why I was thanking you yesterday. Truthfully, I am listening to you. Of patriotism. Okay? Kofi Diabolical says, all Ghanaians should come here. And of course, we have the Lome. Okay, it says Love, fire, and the struggle continues. Rap Thunder says hard work, honesty, and focus. Kwekuchreja first says blessed day. To meet the African teacher, keep up the good work. Oppressor man kingdom keeps falling because of the hard truth. Kofi Diabolical says all patriots watch this. Muhammad Bajir one says we are live. Subscribe, like, share, and share, and share to enable all loved ones join and listen to the truth. Yes, to power our country or nothing, not to pay ou rien. Why signed MC Scorpion inside a Shyman. All right, more comments coming in. Fly them up on YouTube and also on Facebook. Rap Thunder says, Rudolph Basigiyem says, why I am here for the truth and patriotic lectures. Happy weekend in advance. Samuel Sunday says, Blakk, what about the reminder to check on Kofi Adoma, the story of the late JB Dankwa? Yes, as I told you yesterday, we have, and we are following up on the story, okay? Then we also have KISSI Nat Wubaneba says multiple entry. I like that. Yes. Yeah, multiple entry, right? We said multiple visa, right? Multiple entry. You go in and come, multiple entry. Understand that, okay? Samuel Sunday says, I love you, Blakk Rasta, man of patriotism. I salute you. In fact, you are a good storyteller. More fire. Thank you. Akwesio Usu says, keep doing the good work you're doing for Mother Ghana. I love you. Appreciated. Michael Tewia says, watching you from China. Hey, big up. More fire. And Bernard Semenu says, they outsmarted him. All right. Chalsani Alfred says it's not automatic 6 months. It actually depends on your 194 at the point you disembark. So you see that? Most of the time, even the 6 months, you have to say how long you want to live there. They only just give you the 6 months just in case something happens. And maybe you want to make a quick trip in and outside. You see that? All right. Thank you so much. Eric Abankwa says, Blakk Rasta, kindly spend some of your energy in helping me purchase WC tickets, please. What's WC? Kobe Quay says, World Cup. Okay, that's World Cup, right? Helping me purchase WC tickets. That's World Cup tickets. You want me to help you spend some of your energy in helping me? You want to go to the World Cup? You don't need tickets. You need a visa to fly there. Okay? All right. World Cup. Well, interesting. Kwame Kwe says, let him come back to Ghana and answer questions. That's all. He can always apply for a stay in the US after that. All right? More comments. More comments. More comments coming in. And they could come via YouTube. They could also fly over to us via Facebook. Eric Abankwa says, it is very frustrating dealing with the GFA. Chalsani Alfred, oh, okay, that's why you're talking about the WC, the World Cup tickets, right? GFA, what's happening? Please facilitate it, okay? Chalsani Alfred said, for instance, you may have indefinite stay if you have a diplomatic visa. To the discretion of the customs officer. I've never seen this. If you're a diplomat, why should you have a permanent stay? A diplomat works for his country, so why would you have permanent stay? A diplomat is never supposed to have a permanent stay. You are a diplomat of your country. You are working for your country. Why do you come and live in another country permanently? Permanently. No, then you're not a proper diplomat. Well, you may have to explain that more, okay? Yeah, the boss says, good evening, my professor. Nothing but the truth. Politicians have failed our noble continent. And Bernard Semenu says, who arrests you when you apply to extend your stay when your visa is in it? I mean, why? What is this? I mean, they try to let us feel like we don't have brains. What is this? Ronald Nyakon says he's lying. Emma says, you can say all that you like. Ofori-Atta is ... He needs to be sent back to Ghana to answer questions. Hail Marcus, says peace and blessing to you, my king, Black Rasta. Samuel Sunday Adidokun says enough of all these stories from the general prosecutors. All we want to see is action in operation, recover all loot. We want our monies. Yeah, there's action. All this Ofori-Atta has been arrested. So that's action, isn't it? You're not happy about it? Okay, I know what you mean though. Ofori-Atta is not sick. His doctor, Emma, is talking to us that Ofori-Atta in Arabia. Quack special prosecutor says one thing about the MPP is that they woo and dazzle their followers with English. Brofusem, tailcoats, tea parties, and brofo. Yo. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Now we are closing. Story number 4. Watch this. Raymond Archer, my toughest cookie for the year. How many of us know Raymond Archer? I call him Capo di Tutti Capi. For me, in the NDC government right now, this is my toughest cookie. What does it mean to say someone is a tough cookie? Can we go to a dictionary? Tough cookie. What does it mean to say tough cookie? What does the dictionary say? Watch this. A tough cookie is an informal term for a strong, resilient, and determined person who can handle difficult situations, not to be easily defeated, frightened, or upset, and doesn't give up easily, like someone overcoming cancer or a single parent working and studying. It describes someone with inner grit and fortitude, able to manage hardships and challenging people or circumstances. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Come here. I'm done. Now, Raymond Archer was born in Wasai Kropong, Western region. In fact, his father moved to go live in the Volta region and all that. He went to school in the area and beyond, went to journalism school, came out as a journalist and became the youngest journalist in the history of our country and West Africa to win the topmost award, Best Journalist of the Year. He was the editor-in-chief of the Chronicle, Ghana's #1 private political newspaper in the days. He also handled the Enquirer and then the New Enquirer. And when it came to investigative journalism, this was the go-to guy, Raymond Archer. Very fearless. He was the one who investigated the case of Anani. That guy who was our health minister who went to America in the days to represent Ghana at an AIDS summit and ended up sleeping with a white woman without a condom. The woman got pregnant and gave birth to a child. He was the one who did the investigation in the days. And whilst they were investigating that, Kufuor was in power. Anani was also in power. And they used to send macho men to come and torment them at the premises of Shiraj, where the sitting was taking place. This is Raymond Archer. Now, after journalism and winning a lot of awards, he didn't end there. This guy here my toughest cookie for the year. You know what he did? He decided to go into entrepreneurship. He got a portion of the trade fair on lease and started to work there, printing and doing so many different other things, making money for himself. And then we all remember the story between him and McDan. McDan's party, he said, was in power, the NPP. And he had so much power. He was almost like the CEO of the trade fair. And we are told that he masterminded the breaking and demolition of Raymond Atta's factory. He came back to nothing again. But the tough cookie that he is, he rose from the dust and became strong again. Now, he started to turn heads when he was taken to Iyoko, Economic and Organized Crimes Office. This man, he was supposed to deputize a certain man by name Abdullahi Bashiru Dapala, a lawyer who attended the same school I went to, T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School, Kumasi. This is the man. So this was his boss. So Raymond Atta was working under this man at Iyoko. When John Dramani Mahama came into power, he decided to promote this man. And he was moved from Iyoko to the national security. And Raymond Atta moved up the ladder and became the substantive boss, the capo, the tutti capi of Iyoko. And when Raymond got in there, oh Jesus, he turned Iyoko from a white elephant to a red wild elephant. Better still, he changed Iyoko from a white elephant into a red wild lion. The first thing we heard about was Wuntumi. Wuntumi had been picked up. Hey, who dared pick up Wuntumi? This was the man who had all the power, and he still had all the power. He had enough money to buy Chelsea. How dare this little boy? Who is that boy? 49-year-old Raymond Atta, now 50, at the time 49, picked up Wuntumi. Must he be crazy? He subdued Wuntumi with the law. Galamsey, stolen cars. Hey! Ghana started to hear of Raymond Atta again. Hey! Then, bam! It looked like he was looking for the big shots. He sent his boys to Shatawale's house. He had been seen riding a certain yellow Lamborghini. Hey! Shatawale is untouchable. He has fans all over the place and they are vociferous. Hey, this guy, you know the fear. You are going to his house, and according to Shatawale, when they came knocking on his door, he heard people were cocking things. And so like, which criminal are you looking for? He pleaded with them to go and that he will bring the car to them. And they did go. And he drove the car himself to them at Iyoko. The car was said to be a stolen car. Better still, bought with stolen proceeds. I have seen the messages from FBI and all those people about this car. My brother, my sister, there was a big demonstration against Raymond Atta, my toughest cookie for the year. It didn't scare him. He came and stood up there and was waving at the demonstrators. It was their right to demonstrate. They sang all the songs. They threw all the insults. As long as they were not violent, it was okay. Then they dissipated and fizzled into thin air. It only made the tough cookie tougher. And when he returned to office the next day, oh Lord, things started happening. Hey, you know what happened next? He went looking for a certain tough guy that everybody was scared of, including Nana Addo. And big shots of the NPP. Everybody feared this monster of IT. Kobna Edubwayene. Dangerous guy. He and his wife were picked up in a certain criminal gang expose. They allegedly had stolen so much money, beginning with 7 million. Some Israeli deal, which was so murky and terrible. Nobody dared touch Kobna Edubwayene. He knew the ins and outs of the IT world. Raymond Atta went after him. He tried all his IT tricks. In the days of Nanado, he could have gone free. But when Raymond Atta was able to match him boot for boot, and he got him arrested, despite trying to evade arrest. Edubwayene at the airport, when they put the handcuffs on him, applauded like a killer in a Hollywood movie. He couldn't understand how these guys were able to pick him up. And when I saw the video, I said, my God, he truly clapped. He applauded. He said, wow, how did this happen? Kapo, the tutti capi. My brother, this matter, every matter that he had his hand on, he documented everything clinically. Everything. Legal language, and presented everything to the Attorney General. He's the Attorney General's favorite baby boy. The other day I was speaking with the Attorney General at a party, and he told me, with Raymond, whatever he presents to me, I don't doubt it. I don't need glasses to read that. It's clinically clean. Capo, the tutti capi. My brother, the matter is in court. The lawyer is sweating like a pregnant antelope on heat. The last time they were in court, the judge said, why? I don't know where. Counsel, you are going with this Ghana must go thing. Atachia, the lawyer of Kobna Edubwayene, had behaved so unprofessionally by walking out on a sitting judge in frustration. He wanted the judge to be changed. My brother, my sister, we've talked about it already. Raymond Atta didn't end there. He went after one of the biggest alleged crooks, one Hanan, who came out of nothing and all of a sudden had stolen so much, allegedly, built houses all over the place, and even had the audacity and the blasphemy to go to Mecca with stolen money. How can you go to Mecca with stolen money? And he carried his wife. And I hear the wife can talk like a parrot. They envy us. All we have, nobody can stop us. When we were suffering, nobody was here. Now we have all this. Yeah, we have it. You guys, you can't stop us. Yo, yate. They went to Mecca. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. With stolen money in their bags. Allegedly. According to sources, Hanan tried juju. Went to Ashaiman. They buried cows and goats. And people brought the reports, including a certain Malam that got to know some of the prosecutors and told them, this was what happened though. My brother, Raymond Atta, didn't let that scare him. He still went after this guy. And he went after his cronies as well. And we brought all these things to you. My brother, my sister, they are also in court. Very soon, things will happen. My brother, it didn't end there. We started smelling that Edu Buahini was in a certain romantic business caboodle with Alhaji's wife, Rashida Sani, formerly called Rashida Sani Nassam. She had hefty contracts, and the dirty Edu Buahini flew to Russia to bring weaponry, whatever, on contracts. And information reaching me, a lot of these things cannot be traced. Money, stolen money, alleged stolen money was flowing from Edu Buahini into her account like Peple at Homo. And when we broke the news, many were those, he hates her, you know, he hates her. Oh, wallahi, aka yi shege rasta ma me wari dan durunwa ka gani, hey, wallahi, rasta ma me nyuwa, shege me nyuwa. That's it. Understand our culture. You never say anything about somebody unless you hate them. You see the mentality? Oh, if the prosecutors have any case against her, then they should prosecute her. Why is it that she's... And we kept telling you. Then it came to a time I decided to step back a bit and just allow the thing to go. See? It looked like we're giving too much information. You know what happened next? Bam! Her account was frozen. Wait. She went to the bank, UMB, to download money into her Ghana Must Go. Because they are used to Ghana Must Go. And then police people appeared. Hey, madam, come here. Your account is frozen. I've been victimized. I'm not a politician. You're not a politician. Sir. Okay. When the money was being downloaded from stolen proceeds, did you question that? And you knew. There's every evidence that you knew you are in bed with the alleged criminals. You didn't care. Okay. Raymond went after them. Froze assets. Hey. We were able to get deep information, including CCTV videos of people hiding money. For the first time, we broke it here. Bam! And it was news all over the world. CCTV of their homes. My brother, my sister, he didn't end there. He kept moving with speed, chasing people. QNet came all the way from Malaysia and said our business is having some rodents in there trying to mess up our good name. Capo the Tutti Capi said, easy. He went after them, crushed the gang in Kumasi. We all saw the photos and the videos and broke that link, that mafioso, with so much braggadocio, split them into pieces. Hey! And today, as we speak, the QNet mafioso has been silenced under the tutelage and championship of Capo, the Tutti Capi, Raymond Acha. So the year has ended. Everyone is talking about their favorite CEO, the most hardworking MP, apart from the president and all his team of ministers doing so well, no scandals, and so on and so forth. If I was to pick the toughest cookie in a country that is so hard to fight crime without being told that you hate criminals or hate people, my toughest cookie for the year is Raymond Acha. We have even had allegations Oh, Blakk Rasta is reporting for Iyoko. He is the PRO of Iyoko. Oh, awesome. I'm 51. I'm no more 20. I'm sure if Iyoko was a PRO, they'll go for a younger person. We have passed the level of PRO. You trap them line. Yeah, Zagro. Yeah, Nyaframa. Oh, PRO. I heard my good friend Abronye say, oh, Raymond, yeah, Manuska, or Kukuska, and Manu, Kukuska say, and Dumano. You know, things like that. But you see, when you have a solid track record, you can never be distracted. Nobody believes them. The rumors will flow. But people who know you. And the track record is solid. If we were not bought then, why should we be bought now when we have the gray hairs? In the days when I could have gone to the disco to, you know, and chase all the young girls and drink all the wines and eat all the pizzas and fly around the world and have fun, I didn't do it. I didn't get bought. Is it now that I need a more quiet time to read some books and also to get more prayerful and spiritual that I will go for something like that? But don't divert the story. We are talking about Raymond Archer, my toughest cookie for the year. My prayer is that he continues with this hard work alongside, you know, the Attorney General and some others. One of the best things Mahama did, GOLDBOD, Iyoko with Raymond Archer. And that's my opinion. What's your opinion? It's the black pot. So again, what does it mean to say tough cookie? I'm giving you free vocabs. Put it up. Tough cookie. What does it mean? If you say this guy is a tough cookie. A tough cookie is an informal. Yes, a tough cookie is an informal term for a strong, resilient, and determined person who can handle difficult situations, not to be easily defeated, frightened, or upset, and doesn't give up easily, like someone overcoming cancer or a single parent working and studying. It describes someone with inner grit and fortitude, able to manage hardships and challenging people or circumstances. That's it. If you are looking for the meaning of tough cookie and you don't find it, and you see Raymond Archer, Capo, the Tutti Capi, you have found the top tough cookie. It's a black pot, aka Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. We have come to the end of the show. Yes. And happy weekend to you. Now let's look at your final messages and we are done for the day. Okay? Yes, we'll take those quickly. Send them via YouTube. They could also come via Facebook. And we are most excited to be with you. Okay? Ray Davuchi Zan Kanali says, we will chase and hunt him down, even if he remains in the U.S. Yakubu Osman says, Blakk Rasta, no matter how high a bird flies in the sky, at the end of the day, it will be buried in the ground. I know what you mean. Ruth Youngson says, enemies of the country. Ray Davuchi Zankanali says, no Ken Ofori-Atta, no more NPP. That's all. Ashaku Papanikwe says, such disrespect for Ghanaians. Oh gosh. More comments via YouTube, via Facebook. And we have Alexander Kwesi and he says, Tuma Blakk Rasta. I know how things work here in Canada and of United States. If Ken were to be young as 30 years and fit to come and contribute to the state with money, about 500,000 American dollars, the state could have given him a green card, which is in the United States and Canada, you know. But in this case, he's not useful to the state. That's why he's suffering. Let them bring him to account for his tenure in his office as finance minister, watching you from Ontario. Well, Trump is a very tough guy, so. They are paying people $2,000 to chook, as we say in Ghana, chook people. Infam pan people. Jamaica, they say infam pan people. And we say chook people. They come chook them. You know? ochede ozi kokonsa ewa Oguyemi Princess Black Rasta. You see, all these politicians are just playing gamble with Ghanaians' lives because they believe there are some group of people that are above the law in this country. Cecil Malouf says he's sick, but could travel to London and back to the United States and to Jamaica and back and walk on the streets and even be galleying like a model. Dodo, I see. Della Hammond says Ken Ofori-Atta is a ... He should come to his own country and face the consequences. Now he's scared of his own country. Black Eye say, Hail Majesty. Respect, Black Eye. Love and respect, my brother. Big up Jar Works every time the chickens are coming home to roast. Okay? They can't. They can't. Yes, they can't we for once build good medical facilities and institutions. Well, they can't even for once build good medical facilities and institutions instead of exporting our doctors and nurses, which the government is always proud to point to us. They should be building facilities and institutions. Yes, that's what he's saying. We can rather keep these jobs here and probably become a medical hub in West Africa like Cuba. I'm sure that's what you mean, Black Eye. Can we think a little bit? Maybe we should start giving these politicians free advice because it looks like they badly need them. Thank you so much, Black Eye. He's a musician. He's based in the United States. He's, one of us here, originally from Cape Coast. And I love the brother. Okay. Happy weekend. We love you. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for making us #1. Continue, please, to subscribe to the channel and share the broadcast. Yes. Love you. Over the weekend, we will continue praying for you and with you. Continue to say a prayer for me when you say your own. Okay? Until then, guidance and protection. May Ghana continue to prosper. Our country or nothing. Not to pay ou rien. Hey ya. Hey yo. Wayo. Come on.